Alright people, Catfish Dave here. It's summertime, Fort Loudon Reservoir. It's post-spawn, meaning the fish are coming off the nest or are completely off the nest. I'm even starting to get flatheads more often with battle wounds on their head from where they've been guarding the nest. Anyway, I've got a few live baits. Looks like 3 bluegills down in the live well. And I'm set on a possible location to pick up flatheads. At this time of year you can pick them up just because they're on the move, man. They're feeding up. Everything's hungry right now, and it seems like the best bite for me has been in the afternoons. I'm actually here in the morning. It's not quite 8 o'clock. I usually don't get here this early. Usually what will happen is you'll get a good morning bite, and then it's going to die off around noon for a while. And then around 2 o'clock it kind of picks back up for a couple hours as the current gets to going in these rivers good. I will start out suspending while I've got these live baits and just be running 2 rods. Cut bait, usually a big skipjack head on that side of the boat, and I'll run a live bluegill on this side of the boat until they are gone. Setting still in one spot is the best odds of me hooking a flathead. I do get flatheads moving around, drifting, dragging, but you'll get more just sitting in one spot with a good bait and it being a good spot. Nothing real special about this spot as far as structure, other than there is a lot of structure for them just over here. I'm kind of set up at a spot where I figure I can get a big blue or a big flathead, increase my odds of a takedown. I figure the flatheads are more off that way a little bit, but I'm close to them. And here again, some fish are transitioning to where they're going to spend the rest of the summer, and they're right out here in this channel moving along. So the problem with these live baits in the Tennessee River is what's going to hit them. I've had many a gar come along and kill my live bluegill. It happens about every time I use them. Nuisance small blue cat, even channel cat will hit large bluegill. And so the odds of getting one with just 3, getting a flathead with just 3 bluegills, it's a little slim. Usually you got to go through about 7 or 8 of these things to get a flathead around here. I'm going to put them on there. I'm using an 8/0, just a regular J hook. This is an owner Aki twist. Saltwater hook, very sharp. The reason I do that is I'm suspended straight below the boat. Flatheads don't tend to swim away from the boat. They tend to hit and just dig down on the bottom, and a lot of times that hook don't want to slide into a soft part of their mouth. The way a circle hook is designed, with a large flathead and a wide tooth patch, a lot of times it won't catch that upper tooth patch. So there's no 100% hookup rate with any hook, but I've been experimenting with these, and so far having pretty good luck with them. On my cut bait rig, on these skipjack heads, I'm still using a big circle through the nose, and then I'm running a stinger J hook on the bottom. Now most of the big fish I'm catching are hooked on this circle hook. If a little one goes to nipping at your bait, a lot of times they're on the stinger hook. I'm going to get this dropped down, and then I've got some fried chicken laying over there on the side of the boat. And I'm going to chew on that. Just like that there. These Daiwas have a pretty high retrieve ratio. That's a 20 size on the left That's a 35 size on the right. The 35 size has even more line retrieval per turn. So I drop it till I feel it hit the bottom. I slowly start reeling up till I feel I've gotten the slack out of my line, but the sinker is still on the bottom. And then I give that reel a turn and a half, and I give that smaller reel, which has a lesser retrieval rate, 2 full turns off the bottom. Gets me up about my bait will be yay high off the bottom. Gonna be very hot today, heat index of 100 or whatever. And I don't believe there's gonna be a lot of wind, so I've got me a couple battery operated fans, one for me, one for my camera. And to keep my camera from shutting off, along with the fan, I've got this clip-on umbrella that will go on my camera stand, keep that camera from getting too hot. We have to adapt. That's what I've adapted to. I'll still cook over here in this seat, but that camera will run cooler. For all the people that make the comments why my butt is wet, it's because it's been raining for weeks and that seat holds water and I'm going to sit in it regardless. Well, there it is right there. That's what's most likely going to happen to a live bluegill in the Tennessee River. Old blue cat. That was a big, nice bluegill too. You got my bluegill, man. I had a skipjack head out for you. I tell you what, y'all, my thumb is so tore up from handling these fish. I'm gonna grab them with a set of grippers today. Gotta heal up every now and then. There's certain times of the year these blue cat have a lot longer teeth than other times of the year, and right now is that time, and it's long enough to break down into the blood zone every time. Yeah. Come on, bud. We'll drop another one down. 2 left. That's a better fish. He ain't coming up easy. I seen that bluegill get spooked. Start acting crazy. Well, this fish was looking at it. That bluegill is running from something. It just took off hard under the boat. He could be in this line right here with this fish. I hope not. Because I only had 2 more. Yeah. Yeah, this old blue cat's got my other lines what it is. I was going to net him with that. Yeah. Come on in there, old big boy. Well, he pulled harder than what he is. A long, hungry male. Needing some food, all marked up in the head. Yeah. Hopefully after all that bluegill is still on that hook. I'll keep an eye on that rod tip. If I don't see it bouncing up and down, I'll check it. There goes bluegill number 2. Like I say, stuff will come along that ain't that big and just snatch them off the hook. They're kind of a pain to use, really. You got to go through the extra trouble of fishing just for them. And then you barely hook a live bluegill or you're going to kill the thing. And it's easy to get snatched off the hook. That skipjack bait is hooked through that hard jaw. It can catch 3 or 4 or 5 fish before it comes off. We'll throw this last one on here. That was either a gar that done that, or it was a very, very small flathead that just couldn't get it all in its mouth. The rod just started slumping real slow and just kept diving. That's very typical of a flathead, and also a gar will do that. If it would have been a small blue cat, that thing would have been bouncing and jerking and thrashing. That's the same kind of bite I missed. He's just sitting there with it slumped over. Probably the same old gar. That was the last bluegill. Real light rod, light line, Berkeley Gulp minnow, and these are trout magnet 1/64 ounce jig heads. No matter what you do, it seems like the sun's always going to be facing right in the camera. No wind, no current to push my boat any certain direction, but yet it's going to spin and face right towards the sun. That'll fix that. Now I know it's going to swing right back around towards the sun, and I'll just crank the motor again. It's doing it, and it's doing it fast. For whatever reason, it's just going to face towards the sun. Most aggravating thing, man. No current, no wind, but yet there's some magical force going to push the back end of my boat that way. Ain't that amazing? So far, the bluegill bite sucks. I'll just leave that running because I'm going to have to keep driving the boat to keep it facing that way. I know how to get the back end of the boat to face that direction. I come back this afternoon when the sun is that way, and the boat will face that way. I won't have to make it go that way. It's a lot of work to get these dang old bluegills, just to get them snatched off the hook. That ain't gonna do it right there. Every time I get up early, it never does me no good, ever. I go hours and hours and hours burning up, and when the afternoon finally gets here and I'm about to have a heat stroke, these fish will start biting. Happens to me every time. That's why I don't come out till noon. I could have slept in till 9:30, got up, made a good breakfast, come out here and had a way better trip than me coming out here on an empty stomach and sitting out here for 6 hours before these dag-blasted fish decide they're going to do something. Well, I might as well sit down. This is going to take a while. Here goes the whole morning. It's gone. We're going to fish the afternoon now. All right, y'all, the camera just shut off from the heat. I've got an umbrella over it, but with the angle of the sun's still hitting it. I've got a fan blowing on it. I've got this fan set up for me because I'm about to shut off myself. It's hot out here. We're going to try this. There's a bunch of dag-blasted mayflies here, and these bluegills could be here eating on them. Well, I had one on right there. We might be in the right spot. Bingo. He ain't as big as I want, but he's better than what we've got. We found the bluegills. Now we just got to find some big enough for bait. Get out of here. I guess we'll have to keep them. It's hard to find a big bluegill anywhere around Knoxville, I can tell you that. You'd think you'd find a big bluegill here in Knoxville somewhere. They're just all these little things right here. All right, y'all. I'm tired of fishing for bluegills. Now we're going to anchor on a spot somewhere once I find some dag-blasted fish. We're going to try here. Now we're getting up into the hour of suck. Because it took a while to have any luck fishing for those dag-blasted bluegills. These Catfish Dave adventures, they don't all go smooth, I can tell you that. And you can get a flathead in the Tennessee River on one of these bluegills, but you're going to get about 10 snatched off the hook before you catch them. I'm going to start with the smallest since I don't like them. And we'll work our way up to the bigger ones. When you first catch these bluegills and put them in your tank, they'll crap all over the place. For some reason they don't like being in the tank. So I've got to change that water out now, or they'll all be dead here in a few hours. Got a little bilge pump drops down in my tank. Couple clips to clip on a battery. And I'm going to suck all that old water out of there. And when the water gets almost to the bottom, they'll start acting crazy. They act like they don't like being without water, which I don't really know why. Being in the water is what got them in this trouble to begin with. Now we dump this end in the river. Before I take them home with me, I'll change the water out one more time. And I'll put some of that stuff right there in it. Alright y'all, if I don't drink some water, I'm going to be dead in about 2 minutes. Oh man. Summer fishing, not my favorite. These boats are starting to come out, and it's going to be like a wash tub out here with my baits bouncing up and down. It's going to make it even more difficult to catch fish. Speaking of fish, there's some old dink tapping on my headpiece. Now he's going over there to kill that bluegill and rip it off the hook. There's that same bite. It's just slumped over. That's either a flathead or a gar. He just let go of it. So I'm going to say it was a gar. And now that bluegill is deader than a hammer. That blue cat tangled up with my skipjack head. Either way, there goes another bluegill to a dink blue cat. And now we got a mess. Yep, there's the bluegill tail sticking out of his mouth. Another one going down. No flatheads yet. Just blue cat that I could catch on skipjack that I've already got in the boat. That's pulling like a flathead. Yeah, we got a flathead. Oh man, he just splashed water in my salad. Happens every time. Alright y'all, I've been getting a lot of requests to use live bluegills so that I can get more flatheads in my videos. So I've been doing that for quite a few videos now. We've gotten some most every time I've come out with them, but yet no big ones yet. Either way, that's on the live bluegill. Those little things pull way harder than a blue cat does, pound for pound. I was really wanting to finish that salad. Gonna use the smallest ones first. Some small blue cats just went through, and that bluegill is now dead. That's the trouble with trying to use a live bluegill in the Tennessee River. It didn't hurt that skipjack head, it's already dead. But trying to keep a live bait on a hook around here is pretty tough. Well, whatever that was, small blue cat, gar, he snatched another one. So I'm going to put bluegill number 4 on. And actually it's number 7 because we used 3 over there this morning. So, yeah, this is number 4 out of the second batch. It's hard to keep a bluegill on a hook around here. We'll try it again. Now that the sun is working to this side of the river, that's the way the boat's going to face. When it was dead overhead, it was kind of just doing a circle. It didn't know which way to go. But now the sun is more over this way. So the boat is doing the best it can to catch as much of it in my camera lens as it possibly can to ruin this video. It's not too bad of a blue cat. Oh yeah. He's kind of thin, but he's got some length. Yeah. Yeah. Get wild on me. Old thin male cat coming off the nest and hungry. See where the old dinkfish been chewing on it? He's done got that line wrapped around him. Oh yeah. There is millions of dead mayflies all in this water. Yeah. Another old male cat, little beat up looking, on the skipjack. Well, looks like bluegill number 4 is deader than a hammer. Something done nailed him. Bluegill number 5 going down, or number 8, however you want to look at it. Got to have a lot of bluegills around here. We may have a bite on that rod. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a fish on there. pretty fat blue cat. Oh yeah. Yeah. Old fat female. Yeah, old fatty. I'm pretty sure that other bluegill has already been hit. He bounced a couple of times right before I got that bite. He got hit that time for sure. That's a dead bluegill. And there he is, deader than a hammer. It's hard to use live bluegills with a dead bluegill. Bluegill number 6 or number 9, however you want to look at it, going down. Sometimes you pull your bait in after an hour of fishing and you didn't even have no bait on the hook because you didn't see it get taken off the hook. Now hey, that'll cost you some fish, no bait on the hook. Either way, number 6 going down. That acts like a flathead on the skipjack head. That looked like a flathead bite. It's hot out here. I don't know. It's pulling more like a blue now. What do we got? No, that pulls more like a flathead. I believe it's a small flathead. Yeah, that's a flathead on the skipjack head. Yeah. Yeah. I knew that went down like a flathead. They got their own kind of bite. He bypassed the live bluegill to hit that skipjack. That's of course if bluegill number 6 or whatever number we're on is even still on there. I'm gonna spin this boat out of that sun. I'm tired of that sun being in the camera all the time. Another small flathead. They are starting to come off the nest. Ornery little old fish. Alright y'all, my camera overheated and shut off. And then while I'm trying to straighten that, my phone runs out of battery, which is how I operate my camera. While I got all this going on, I had a flathead hit that bluegill, and he was on there, and I just left him on there trying to get the camera back on. And he come off. He wasn't no big flathead, but it was definitely a flathead. Meanwhile, I got this blue cat in the tank with my bluegills till we get everything going again. I'd say he's happy to be out of here. We did have another shot at a flathead on a bluegill. Chaos out here. Now I've got the fan that was on me on my camera. That's what initially happened. That fan ran out of battery. Man, it's hot. I got a headache. I knew the bite was going to pick up once it gets hot. Problem is, it's too hot to be out here.